What is going on, everyone? It's Mitch here, and I'm back finally for another video for this channel. I haven't made one in quite some time, almost I'd say since last year. A few reasons for that. One, I just need to take a break. I think I was just getting burnt out trying to go racing, do videos, get stuff ready to go to Bathurst, stuff like that. And to be perfectly honest, it takes time to do these videos. So I took a break, and standing in front of me right now, sitting in front of me, is a surprise. And if you look on the wall behind me, might be a clue to that one. Let's talk about it. All right, so this is the OG XL car, and this one is our new to us second team car. What we do with this one is yet to be decided. This was the 255 car driven by Mav up here in Queensland, and they have moved on to Legend cars, so they made us an offer, would we like to purchase it, and we jumped at it. So it is now ours, and full race car, logbooks, ready to go, ready to jump in, ready to rip. Engine, gearboxes, everything. The packages that came with this car is absolutely insane. So with this car, we got down in Tamworth right now, we have a partly sorted single cam, a fully stripped shell, another donor car with a blacktop engine in it. We had a spare silver top engine that is now in my car because blew the other one up. We'll get to that. There's a sealed engine in the white car, a bunch of panels. We now have 4, 8, 12, 14, 18 rims and tyres, all Zeniths, so they're all matching, which is fantastic. Bunch of spare tyres, bunch of spare parts, so much I could talk about and list, but this is going to be perfect for us, what we want to do. So as you can see, there's not as much stuff in space in the shed now compared to what we have before, but there is still heaps of space. Like, we've got all our wheels and tyres here, got spare tyres set up there. We've got all these spare parts. If you look over here, alternators, another one up there, an old airbox, broken parts from an engine. This came out of the engine that blew up out at Queensland Raceway earlier this year. Along, you got coils, electrical stuff all in there, pipes, everything. Down here is a bunch of spares to take to the track. In that box there is the camshaft, one of the camshafts that came out of my old engine that is now in 3 parts, not 1, 3 pieces. And then a bunch of other things. And then come over here, on this side of the shed, we have on this shelf more spare parts, uprights ready to go in the car if needed, whole range of different stuff in the garden shed out the back. We've got body panels, gearboxes. I've got 2 sealed spare gearboxes here, so we are looking pretty tidy. So why did we make this investment? Well, to be perfectly honest, we don't run on a massive budget. We run, as the wind picks up, we run on a pretty tight budget in terms of what we do, how we go racing, things like that. I still do Uber Eats to pay for all my entry fees, my racing, things like that. I do get a bit of help from a sponsor here or there that may jump on board for a round or two. But as a family, I love going racing. I love going racing, having my dad out the track, and being able to share this experience with him. He loves coming out and jumping on the radio with me. What I'd ideally love to do is stick my dad in the white car, just so I can get him an understanding of what it's like to go racing out there. I don't necessarily want him to go racing with me out there, but at a practice day, it'd be nice to chuck him in the car and do that. It also means that if for some reason I blow a gearbox, I don't have to stress about trying to get the money to go find another gearbox or get that built. I've got spares sitting here. So I've got enough gear now to last me quite some time. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to go out and start destroying things on track, because that's never how I've raced. I've always tried to keep it really tidy and really clean when driving. But things happen, accidents happen, and you know, if you want to replace stuff, you've got to have the money there to do it. And now we've got the parts there to actually replace stuff if we want to. For example, the engine in my black car. So this engine is a spare that we got with this whole package with Mav's old car. And I can't thank the Caminaveri family enough for allowing us to make the decision to purchase their gear. But this is their spare engine that came with all their gear. I dropped this in the car because we do have a race meet next weekend coming up. And I really just wanted to be able to go out there and put laps on it. Now we do have another engine coming for this car. This I do intend to remain as a spare engine. Now I know this engine is quite good. It actually, from my understanding from the dyno sheets and the dyno runs that it's done when it was in that car, produced more power than the sealed built engine that's in that car right now. So I want to try and keep it this way as just a spare if needed, and go from there. While we were dropping this engine in, I put a new radiator in it and had to make up some more brackets for it. So we got that in. Had to extend the pipe because this is not a radiator for an X3 XL. It's for a different make, but fits in, good to go. And then I did some work on the airbox, just changed our airbox up, things like that. And I just got to get another pipe up here to join it all together, and we're good to go. Bleed the clutch, get all that taken care of, and we'll be right. But there is another project I want to do to the car right before we go out racing, and it's a sick one, and I'm going to probably do another video on it so everyone knows what it is. But this is us now. This is our team. 2 cars. I will be taking the wrap off this one, changing the colour of it, and just setting it up so we've got so many options with this car. To be honest, like, I've had people say, hey, what are your plans with it? Because I put it on Facebook and said that I'd purchased it. There is the option that we could put a 1.6 litre in it and go improved production racing. We could turbo it. We could literally turn it into a car to do enduros with, things like that. So there's so many different options that we can do with this car. But which way we go is really something that we're still figuring out. But right now, I want to be able to sit my dad in it. A few friends, or my mother-in-law said she wants to have a go. She's a bit of a rev head. So yeah, this is it. It's still everything as it came off the track from Bathurst. When it competed down there, when I was down there and had all my issues. This is it, and it's ours. All right, so some of you may be asking, what have I been up to? What happened at Bathurst? Because I really haven't spoken about my experience down there. There's a whole range of different reasons for that. At the end of last year, when I found out that I was going to Bathurst, I put a lot of time, energy, money to getting this car right, this black car, to go to Bathurst. Making sure that I was prepared, the car was prepared, and there wouldn't be any problems. To the point where I lost 25 kilos to get myself right. I got a whole new seat insert, made that up for the car so I could sit properly and feel supported in the car. Tried to get, did a whole bunch of work, changed brand new brake rotors, brand new brake shoes, brake drums, brake pads, everything, sensors, all good to go. And I went and did a test day, and it started surging, and I thought, oh, this isn't right. So I actually and it wouldn't kick over when I came off the track. So I actually put a new fuel pump relay in it, fired up, went out, and at practice day, I actually did the quickest ever time I'd done around Morgan Park in Queensland that I'd ever done. And I said, this thing is set, it's good to go. So I put it on the trailer, came home, got down to Bathurst. Everything was great, went out for the first session, I was pumped, and then on the very first lap out, it stopped at the cutting. It just died. Nothing, there's nothing like no noises or anything like that. So what I did is I came back in, I actually got towed to the top of, just up past the cutting. And after that session, they red flagged it, and then they towed me down across McPhillamy and then through Skyline. They unhooked me and let me coast down to the pits. Pushed it back, and a pin had fallen out for the crank angle sensor, and the plug had slightly separated. So I put that pin in, and the car fired straight back up, and I'm like, we're set, like that's all good. Went back out, did 1 or 2 laps, and then the car, same thing, car started surging and the car died. That was it actually died under a safety car period that I did not cause. And then from every other session on, when I had problems, there was never, I was never really causing it. There was always a safety car out, and the car would actually start dying during the safety car period. But we never completed a session down there. And we changed sensors, we changed coil packs, we changed fuel pumps, we changed every part of the electrical thing bar the wiring harness in this car. And we couldn't figure out why. Like, you'd get different parts of the track, you'd go up and you'd hit a bump, and then it would kind of go to die, and you get across the top, but it wasn't consistently at one point of the track. It was different parts of the track where you go up and across the top, and be an absolute jet going up. And then it'd like surge and then kick back in and keep going and things like that. And we couldn't figure out why. And we came home, and I was actually really defeated, to be honest. I came back and I was frustrated, angry, because I wanted to go there, and I hated the fact that I was not able to complete a session, and kind of felt like I was causing problems down there. Not for my own lack of trying. Like, I'd never go to a track. The only time I've never finished a race meet is when the gearbox let go in the final race of a race meet. Until the last race meeting I did after Bathurst, when the engine let go. But what we actually figured out is we're out at QR for the race meet after Bathurst, and was having the same kind of issues after changing a whole bunch of stuff, and we just couldn't figure it out. And what it actually was is the plug to the ignition, from the ignition to the harness. When we put a new dash in the car, we put a new fiberglass dash in the car, and we tied all the cables up, made it nice and neat and tidy, so it was like presentable. It was a schmick looking car going down there, and one of the cable ties was actually done up too tight, and as we're going through corners, the harness would move slightly and pull the ignition pin, the pin for the ignition on the plug, pull it slightly out, and the car would die. The only reason I figured this out is because I got in to check something in the car, and the car was idling, and I bumped the harness, and the car just died. And I shook the harness, and it came back good, and then so as it was running again, I bumped the harness, and it died. So I was like, if this is it, I'll be pretty upset. So I actually cut the cable ties so they could hang loose, started the car up, shook the cables, and the car was fantastic. It never missed a beat. For the other races, like I did a 30-minute race at QR, and it was on fire. It was consistently quick, and pulling in the guys in front of me, and I was pulling away from the guys behind me, until Sunday came, and we went out, and actually sitting on pre-grid, I was like, it's running fine, but just something doesn't feel right. It just didn't, in my head, I was like, something's not right. Like, but car's running fine, but I'll send it out. So I sent the car out and got a mega start, absolutely ripper start. And then I was going really, really well. And I was close to being in the top 10. I think I was sitting about 11th or 12th. And then coming through, no issues, no surging, nothing like that. The car was on fire. And then coming through turn 5, I was setting up a move, and got a good run through turn 5 going into turn 6, and then halfway down that little straight there, the engine just went bang. And immediately got on the radio to my dad and I said, just blew the engine. Engine's gone. We pull in, tried starting it, no compression. I'm like, right. So we packed it up, came home, and I literally pulled the engine out of the car, took it down the engine builder, and it sat there. I was like, hey, I want to be there when we pull it apart. And what we figured out is the thrust bearing inside the engine had actually, the thrust part of the bearing had actually worn away and gone. The harmonic balancer had then, because it was the crank was moving backwards and forwards in the block, it actually was then rubbing on the timing cover. It heated up, it failed, the timing belt skipped 20 teeth, and then the cam, because it was so much out of timing, the cam actually snapped into 3 pieces and broke a cam cap and bent all the valves in the car. And like, I know these people say that they're non-interference engines. I can tell you right now, those cams and the valves were bent, because when we pulled the head off, we could not pull the valves in or out. They were stuffed. The piston, like I showed you before, had a bunch of marks on it where it had been hitting stuff in the car, in the engine. So that thing was absolutely cooked, and there's no, like, you could attempt to save it, but there's there could be a chance there's like microscopic cracks to the crank and stuff like that, and you could have bigger issues down the road. So long story short, we've got a new engine coming, and you know, I do apologise and feel sorry for everyone that went to Bathurst and wanted clean runs, but you know, I know there's been people out there saying that I went there unprepared. I can tell you right now, that is not the case. The amount of money I actually spent getting this car right and ready, and did test days and stuff like that, so I would be right and be comfortable in the car would be fantastic, is nuts. I spent thousands, and that's just not for camping and getting down there. Like, just getting the car ready would be thousands of dollars. And unfortunately, stuff happens, and you know, I'm not the first to go down there and have problems. I probably won't be the last, but it happens to the best of us. So I'm back. We're going to start doing some more videos and get this car right. The first thing we need to do is do another project for this thing, and it involves wiring, not the harness, although I may look at redoing the pin, the plug on that harness, so the pins are fine. But it involves our buttons and our accessories and how we turn everything on. Because one thing I did notice is, if I do need to push buttons, I have to look down, kind of sometimes pull my helmet down because I sit higher in the car. I can't just look down at them. So I redesigned something, or designed something, and that'll be going in the car next video. But that's where we're at. We've got two cars now. That's a brief recap of where we're at in terms of our racing for this year. I've done 2 race meets, and I really, after Bathurst and then after the engine, stuff like that, I just need to take a bit of a mental health break, to be honest. It did a number on me mentally, and I just need to take some time and get myself right and ready, and get ready to have another crack. And I thank you to those people that have been an ear to listen to me, and have supported me, and really allowed me to just take a bit of a break, and vent and just have some time away. My family, it's been nice to actually spend time with my boys and my wife and hang out with them. You know, I coach basketball at my work. It's what I do. And it's been nice to really give that some really good attention. And my son was playing basketball. He's now decided to step away from that, and I can now be dad and not coach, because he's decided to play baseball, which is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I guess there was a point there where I was just like, I just want to sell it all, get out and be done with it. But everyone's like, man, keep at it, chin up, you know. Even people, when I was having the problems with the car and figuring out why it was cutting out all the time. We're like, man, you're better than me, because one person did say they'd probably burn the car and just buy a new one. But I just like figuring out what's happening to stuff. So that's where we're at. We're back. We're going to be giving it another hot crack. This next race meeting, I probably won't be competitive given the engine that'll be in the car. I could be. I don't really know. But we'll see how it pans out. Just go get some laps, get some seat time, keep out of trouble, and I get to spend some time with my dad at the racetrack, which I'm really looking forward to. So there we go. Time to get this car ready and get it racing. All right, I will see you next video, guys, where we're going to be working on this car and doing a sweet little project I've been working on big time in the background. If you follow my social medias on Facebook and Instagram, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. And there's been a lot of requests for people to film me installing this into the car, which I'm more than happy to do. Take some time, but I'm happy to get it done this weekend. So I guess we'll film that video, and then the next one will be when I go out to QR for the next round next weekend. See you later, guys. Bye.